That's right. Say a little prayer. We need to say a little prayer for the world, man. I tell you what, this world is spiraling out of control, Up there in Minneapolis, of course, there's a huge, getting to be a huge-sized crowd of protesters facing off with the federal agents up there. That seems to be, of course, the next step that, of course, we had to have here. I did get some information from some of my sources up there in Minneapolis. I'm trying to make this into another George Floyd incident. Not really sure they're going to succeed at that. And, you know, this thing was covered from all angles. So it was a tragic accident. And just to see how the reaction and to see how the mayor there, what's his name, Fry, just is stirring the pot. Tim Walz stirring the pot, trying to get people, instead of asking for calm, just stirring the pot, I think is pretty bad here. But anyways, that's what's happening up in Minneapolis. We are not surprised that this is the way things are going. It is just such a shame that we can't seem to do right. But anyways, how you doing this morning? I am Ann Eller. This is WCRS Radio, and we've got a lot of stories to get to here this morning. I was just out walking with Penny. Oh my God, it's going to be another beautiful day out there, folks. Another beautiful day. Let's check out what the day is going to be. Gosh, I just, every time, this weather, you can't count on anything. No wonder we have to have huge closets here because, you know, up north, I'm going to explain this again. Up north, you change your winter clothes, your fall clothes, and then you have your spring and summer clothes. And you have to have two closets because you have the wearables and then what you'll wear when the weather changes. Down here, you never know when you might need it. Right now, it is 49 degrees, feels like 47. We are headed for 67 here this morning and a low tonight of 54. Then, let's see, we'll have a mix of clouds and sun early, followed by cloudy skies this afternoon. Areas of patchy fog, high of 67. Tonight, it will be overcast, areas of patchy fog, low of 54. What are we looking at for Friday? Looks like a high of 68 with cloudy skies. And a low of 54. And on Saturday, cloudy early with thunderstorms developing later in the day, near record high temperatures, high of 72 on Saturday, and that'll be January 9th. That's right. Chance of rain 80%. Saturday night looks like cloudy early with thunderstorms develop. Yep. Let's get it right now. Rain showers early with overcast skies late. Thunder possible. Low of 46. Chance of rain drops down to 60%. So that's what we're looking at for Saturday. Sunday looks like clear. Some clouds in the morning will give way to mainly sunny skies in the afternoon and then clear overnight, high of 53. Monday comes in with a high of 50 and plentiful sunshine. So that's some of what we're looking at as far as the weather goes. So many topics, so little time. That's what I have to say. So many topics, so little time. I do want to talk about one thing before we get started because I don't want to forget to talk about this. Your taxes, your property taxes have to be turned in by the 15th. And the 15th is that next Thursday? Yes, next Thursday. If you are mailing them, I believe that if it's postmarked the 15th, that is good. However, you must get it postmarked, walk inside the post office, particularly if you're mailing it on the 15th, and have someone stamp it for you. There's no charge for this, but the post office is no longer guaranteeing that if you drop it in a box, that it'll be postmarked by the 15th. So this is something, if you don't want to have any more penalties, you better get it to somebody and have them actually physically stamp it for you on the 15th, and then you'll be okay. Might be just as easy to make a plan and go in and make that payment, drop it in a box. There is a box right outside the tax office, I do believe. And I'm not really sure, where are they at? Are they in their regular location or are they somewhere else? We'll have to check that out for you. But next Thursday, if you want to pay your taxes and not have any increase in penalties, then you need to do it on Thursday at the latest. But I also think this is very interesting. If you are dealing with the post office, if you have something that needs to be postmarked by a certain date, the advice from the post office, and this is directly off their website, Postmarking Myths and Facts, they say take it inside and have it hand stamped with the date. Otherwise, you may be not doing what you think you were doing. They're saying they've been doing this for a while. It's just interesting. Now they're making a big push about it, right? Interesting. All right, what else is going on? Well, that's a deep topic, Ann. What else is going on? I want to start out with this morning. Don't know if you've seen the new potential, well, I think it is approved, the new logo for the county. Now, I understand the need for a simpler logo to use in digital images, but everybody was not happy with the fact that they wanted to change on the county. So the county has decided to keep the original one, I guess, to use on official documents and things like that. However, they are adopting a newer, simpler one, and I don't know. When I was looking at it last night, the comments weren't that positive, but it is more of an illustration rather than the detail, and they say actually it's the detail. So I don't know how much money they paid for this thing. It's all right, but it's kind of reminds me of the Cracker Barrel debacle. Remember when they wanted to get rid of Uncle Herschel there because it was too complicated to put on billboards or street signs, exit signs off the highway, etc. They wanted to have a simpler one, and what did they end up doing? They went back. That's right. They went back and decided changing their image was not a good thing. The county, I think, has made this decision. They said that they are going to use up anything that is printed with the old, with the standard, maybe we should call it the legacy logo. The legacy logo, they will use up all that, and then they will start implementing this, but I guess on street signs or anything where a digital image is going to be, they will use it. They've got this. It's okay. I'm sorry. I'm not going to say it's great and wonderful. It's okay. And as I said, I wonder how much money we had to pay for that. All right. But anyways, that's something that they decided they needed. Nothing against Abby. Abby Banks is the one that's been heading that up. They also had to hire a team to do this. And I'm sure it had to fit under certain parameters. And they'll be putting out the proper colors to use with it and yada, yada, yada. It's okay. Am I thrilled and think, because I don't think that any, and I'm saying this on anything. It's the same thing with Cracker Barrel, just because that one got so much play, and we talked about it on this show. The Cracker Barrel logo lost it by taking out Uncle Herschel, and yet their very reason for taking it out was what? Because it made it difficult to put it for scannable images. So It's okay. That's my opinion. It's okay. Have you seen the logo? Do you know what I'm talking about? I don't know if I can pull it up here real quick. Let's see if we can pull it up. But, sometimes I think we should just stay with what we, sometimes we should turn the page, and sometimes I think we should not turn the page. But that's just my opinion. I'd love to hear your opinion. If you have an opinion on it, let's see, can we find it? Greenwood County should be able to pull that up for you. Greenwood County, and see what you are thinking about this. Greenwood County. All right, there is the regular official website of Greenwood County. Oh, yes. Sorry, can't talk right now. Call you back. All right. No. Well, I'm not as adept at doing this stuff on the fly, so I guess I won't try to do it, but they are. Oh, by the way, it says they've already have this done. The playground was closed down out there at the Greenwood Recreation Center out there at the old Civic Center site from 4 o'clock yesterday. Reopened this morning at 8 o'clock. So, let's see. Well, I don't see. Don't tell me they took it down. I'm sure it's out there. Anyways, that's something I just wanted to mention. But I do think the original seal that says County of Greenwood, South Carolina, founded in 1897, is my favorite. So I'll just go on the record with that. I know that change has to come sometimes, but couldn't we just keep that one? And I hope that they will be cautious about how they roll this out. Don't want everybody going up in arms here. But anyways, I'm Ann Eller. This is WCRS Radio. Let's talk about some of the other things that are out there in the news. And an article I want to talk about, a digital detox. Have you thought about doing this? Have you thought about, I'm going to do less on social media. I'm going to be less on my screen. I'm going to be more present. Well, I've got an article, I think it's from the Wall Street Journal, that says it's a good thing. It's a good thing. And we'll maybe get into that. Also, this article is, this is an important article. A cannoli the size of a teacup poodle. Who ever heard of such a thing? But anyways, that's what there is. There is a cannoli the size of a teacup poodle. Colossal cannolis. That's right. I think that's kind of neat. I should put a picture of that up there so you can see just how big that is. And we actually have the capability to do that. Top monitor. Let's show let's show the cannoli right there. Isn't that a hoot? Look at this thing. It's the size of a teacup poodle. Whoever saw such a thing? Look, this is where they're decorating. They've got it wrapped. I mean, this is family size, actually corporate size cannoli. So I just wanted to show that to you and let you see how big that is. Can you imagine getting that as a Christmas present? What? For me? A cannoli. Yes, there you go. So, they've got, they say that this colossal candle costs $100, but it could easily treat a family of 6. So that's what they're doing. 2 gargantuan good. Let's see, what does it say? That's pretty funny. I just cannot imagine getting one of those. And of course, you kind of have to eat it. I guess you could put it in the refrigerator and keep it for a little bit, but they're best when they're very fresh. It says, I wanted to make something for the family. The owner of the bakery up there, 78 years old, told the Post on Tuesday, referring to his colossal cannolis. He said there are copycats in New Jersey and beyond. He was the first to bring the giant cannoli to New York City in the 1970s when he took over the baker from the original owner. Yep. So, the gargantuan goodie has since drawn fans from Mayor Rudy Giuliani to Ronald Reagan and actors Ray Romano. Products from the sweet shops, whose mixes include some military versions dating back to World War I, are also now a hit with the increasing hipster neighborhoods, Gen Z customers, and so there you go. But that is a huge cannoli. Mega cannolis, recently described as the size of a small dog by the food website Eater, are always a hit this time of the year, selling for $100 and only made by special order. So, $100, that really doesn't seem like that much, is it? I mean, if you figure you pay $10 for a small one, that's like 9 cannoli. I guess that's not that bad. So I just thought that was when I was going through and just flipping through. That is only by special order. By the way, when you look at this picture of this bakery, I mean, we have bakeries, and of course we're in a different zone and everything. But the size of the bakery, I may have to go to New York just to go to a bakery. There you go. I'm going to go on a bakery tour when I go to New York. That's what it is. I will go on a bakery tour and hit all the bakeries and just bring back a selection of bakery treats. Yes, we get everybody does according to size. And, of course, it's New York City, so they go through a lot. But, yeah, let me show you this picture. If you just happen to be watching, you'll see this picture of this bakery. If you've never been to New York City or never seen this, top monitor, look at this picture. That is a huge bakery, more and more and more. I wish you were watching. If you're not watching it now, I hope you get to go back and check it out. It's pretty darn cool, the bakery, and kind of makes me want to go to New York right now. Let's get on a plane and go to New York. There you go. All right. I'm Ann Eller right here with you this morning. So I hope you're having a good morning. Let's talk about some of the stories and some of the things that are out there. This thing in New York, in Minneapolis, is a tragedy. Absolutely. It is a shame that this had to happen. It is in the midst of everything that is going on in the world between Venezuela, what's going to happen to that country, the president, they have brought these 2 tankers, are on their way back here, or they're going to be selling the oil off that tanker. They've made a deal on how they will proceed. People say, Donald Trump, yada, yada, yada. But the one thing you can say about Donald Trump, he is a businessman. He is looking out for it not to cost America so much. So I really think that it is a shame that our world revolves around so much hate all the time. That is one thing that I certainly think. But how will we proceed with Venezuela? That's one issue. Now we've got Minnesota here, Minneapolis, Minnesota happening, and this is going to be a big issue. They were talking about yesterday on late night news about the 1-year anniversary of the fires in California, how little has been done in the past year, how many people still have never gotten into their homes, ones that the homes are standing, they've never been able to get into the home. The California government is not allowing people back in their homes. I mean, this is just some bizarro stuff. And one of the things we do have to get a hold of course, is how we're going to deal with our own internal problems. You know, it's been said that President Trump is looking outside to areas beyond, like taking over Greenland, as a way to cement his legacy. And he feels that he's going to be a lame duck president unless the Republicans can hold on. But the one thing that we seem to be forgetting about is he made a lot of promises to our country, for things like inflation and things like the cost of food. Now, the cost of gas is coming down right now, but I don't know about you. Are you suspicious? You know, we've seen this before, right? Where the price of gas comes down and you go, oh, well, it's cold out there. I'll get gas tomorrow. You go back to get the gas tomorrow when it warms up a little bit, and you're like, what happened? But the price of gas is down pretty significantly right now. If it stays down, I'll be impressed. If it pops back up again, I am not, I repeat, not going to be impressed. I do want to tell you we had an excellent interview yesterday afternoon with Representative John McCravey. I would highly recommend, if you didn't get to see it or hear it, that you go back, or even if you did hear it, go back and listen to it again. He really covered a lot of issues, and I found it very interesting. While Representative John McCravey and Senator Billy Garrett are both Republicans, some very different views amongst the two. Not saying that's bad, not saying it's not good. It just is a very different approach. I will tell you that Representative John McCravey believes that the WCRS is a good thing and that there are good changes coming because of, Ram Reddy, his involvement in that, and he wants to actually see more of what that is all about. He still is on the same two committees that he has been on. And he said, even though he wanted off of that one committee, he's not been allowed to get off that committee. He is the family caucus, he says, is in good shape, although smaller. It has committed people that are working on it. I think they have 24 members. Originally, there were somewhere around 50. So, and he also is very definite on tax relief, and particularly tax relief for seniors on property taxes. He believes property taxes for seniors. If you've already paid for that house, how many times, and still you're being charged? And he says he has seen it time and time again, where people that are retired, they lose a spouse, and all of a sudden they can't afford the taxes, even with the homestead exemption, which is not that much. He'd like to see more of that. He believes a slight, and he says a very slight increase, I don't remember what it was, you'd have to go back and listen to it, increase in sales tax would cover any and all deductions. Now, he's not saying universal property tax, but he is saying for seniors that they should not have to continue to pay property tax. We talked about legislative issues. We talked about whether this year is going to be a better year on getting things done in the legislature. I think he is optimistic, but and he said he is going to have a press conference next week, and he will be outlining more of this stuff. Anyways, it was a good conversation. It was strong. It was hard-hitting, and we had a good time talking about things. So I highly recommend you check that one out. The day before, we had Senator Billy Garrett, and we got to hear it from the deliberative body, the Senate. So that was an excellent, excellent interview. All right, what else is going on here? Well, we can always check out the news, Ann, and see what's going on. I found this article very, very interesting. Have you heard about this? The couple that where they had that fire over there in Switzerland on New Year's Day, that 40 people died. They're saying they're saying that the owners took the cash and left and took any of the evidence. He said the suspended accounts contained videos of the packed holiday party and earlier festivities, arguing that their removal showed security concerns came to the manager's mind straight away. So the fire broke out around 1:30. That was over in Switzerland, and claimed the club blocked its social media accounts between 3 a.m. and 6:30 a.m., while the website is also taken offline as emergency service workers work to extinguish the flames. But I think the big news is that this couple, the manager of the Swiss bar where 40 people died on New Year's Eve, allegedly fled with the night's cash as patrons desperately tried to escape, with both owners now accused of destroying evidence in the aftermath. So it says that one of the managers, is accused of abandoning terrified partygoers as flames engulfed La Constitution, and was seen by multiple witnesses carrying the cash register. That was reported. She didn't just get the cash. She took the cash register, folks. No wonder they're saying this. I hadn't read that. Carried the cash register out. Well, that's single focus, folks. We got to make sure we get the cash. But when you take a cash register, not just pop it open and get the money out of it. I don't know. Maybe the power was off or something. She couldn't get the cash register open. She just took the whole thing. You know, cash registers today are very light and very mobile, so that's not that big a deal. If she had one of the original ones that we had at Sharp Facets, probably weighed 75 pounds. If you went to lift that sucker, people would notice. Maybe not so much in today's world, but she was carrying that out. This is not funny, but it is funny when you think about this woman hauling out the cash register and saying, "Excuse me, I got to get the cash out of here. Let me get the cash out of here." And people are looking at her and screaming and to show us the way out, etc. So she and her husband are both French nationals who have co-owned the nightclub since 2015, are under investigation for manslaughter and causing bodily harm to the 119 who suffered horrific burns while celebrating in the Swiss Alps. That is so wild. But my vision of her carrying out the cash register and everybody else is going, what are we supposed to do here? How do we get out? And she probably knew a shortcut or something. I don't know. But anyways, I just find that kind of funny. But, you know, I have a perverse sense of humor. So huge fire, huge loss. I'm not making fun of the fact of the event that happened. I think it's just hilarious to have seen pictures of this woman carrying the cash register out. She probably took a bottle of champagne with her, too. I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. I had to say something like that. Anyways, I'm Ann Eller right here with you this morning, just looking for sort of some of the different things that are out there in the news. So let's see if I can find this. Yes, this digital detox. I found this most interesting. This came from the Wall Street Journal. It was a story a couple of days ago, and I've been holding on to it, waiting for this to be a good time. It says, more over than weight loss and a non-drinking January, there's a new popular New Year's resolution in town, the digital detox. Some people are aiming to reduce overall screen time on social media, including the person that wrote this article. Others want to carve out regular no-screen days, okay, more like time periods, or days or retreats. A survey by the digital wellness app Opal granted a bit of biased audience, found that 33% of 1,300 users said reducing screen times and being more present was their top New Year's resolution, compared with 28% who aimed to lose weight. So weight loss is not as much as getting away from the screen. Even teens are voicing their desire. The Boston Children's Digital Wellness Lab report cited results from a survey of more than 1,500 teens and found that 63% said they use their phones too much, and 47% said they use apps or tools to manage their phone use. It's high time we all cut down. There are growing signals it's bad for our mental health, especially among adolescents and young adults. So it says when the JAMA Network opened, that's a recent study, found that when young adults did a social media detox for a week, they had a reduction in anxiety and depression symptoms, as well as less insomnia. You know, they say that you shouldn't, a half hour before you go to bed, you shouldn't be looking at the blue of the looking at your screen because of the blue lights and all this kind of stuff. We've been hearing this stuff for a long time, but this now is something that is getting to be a bigger thing. Dr. John Torres, a senior authority of the study and director of the Division of Digital Psychiatry at Beth Israel Medical Center in Boston, says previous research often relies on people self-reporting their screen time or social media use, which can be unreliable. He wanted to do it differently. Yeah, I'm not on my phone a lot. Yeah, there you go. Oh, maybe 30 minutes a day. Well, maybe 30 minutes at a time, 10 times during the day, right? He had about 400 people between the ages of 18 and 24 were instructed to use their phones normally for 2 weeks to get a baseline of screen time and other metrics. The third week, they were asked to reduce their social media use. About 80% of the people were successful in reducing their social media time. Average use went down from 2 hours a day to 30 minutes. Can you imagine only using your phone for 30 minutes a day? You know, the problem with social media, particularly, I don't know, Facebook, Instagram, any of these social sites, shall we say, if you're not keeping up with it, you miss out a lot. Do you know how many conversations that I have with somebody? Did you see where so-and-so did this? Did you see where this happened? You know, I mean, it is insidious how it takes over our lives. And I wonder if I just turned off the phone, you know, I turned the page and then I turn off the phone, how out of the loop I would be if I wasn't checking that out. It's kind of like the news, isn't it? If you become addicted to the news, you're constantly wanting to know what is happening out there. So about 80% of the people were successful in reducing their social media time. Average use went down from 2 hours a day to 30 minutes. I don't even believe that that's true. If you were a 2-minute, maybe you could get it down to an hour, but you'd have to be scrolling really fast. The participants were asked questions about their mood, activity, and sleep daily. After a week of their social media detox, participants on average had a 25% reduction in depression symptoms, a 16% decline in anxiety, and a 14% decrease in insomnia. There were no significant change in exercise or number of steps. Some apps, they say, were easier to quit than others. Video-based apps such as TikTok and Snapchat were harder to stay away from than more text-based ones like Facebook or X. Interesting, overall screen time went up about 4% overall. So it does seem like people were doing other things on their phones. Kind of points to the fact that all screen time is not equal. Well, I think that's true. I mean, if you are researching something, if you're looking for information, but if you're looking to just scroll through Facebook, TikTok, any of those things, maybe not so much. But time spent on your phone isn't just about what you're doing. It's also about what you're not doing. After all, when you're not doing could be boosting your physical and mental health and social connections. Have you ever tried that with your kids or grandkids, saying we're going to put the phones down? How about sitting there at dinner time or when you go out to a restaurant? How many people do we see sitting there communicating with each other through the phone instead of just looking into their eyes and talking to somebody? It says the main benefit for this one guy, a 19-year-old college student at Rutgers University in New Jersey, who joined Abstinence, a collective that advocates for eliminating addictive technology 3 or 4 months ago. He says in the new year he hopes to continue committing to an app-free lifestyle. Now, there'll probably be groups now. Hi, I'm Ann. I'm addicted to apps, my phone. Yes. He already deleted all his social media accounts. He's transitioned to a flip phone. He still goes online for schoolwork and other things such as YouTube or Reddit a few minutes a day. He says, I'm not completely offline, but I'm more centered on finding meaningful activities for me. Since eliminating social media, he says he exercises more, has taken up some old hobbies like drawing and painting, and has even learned to cook. What do you think about that? 864-332-9355, 864-332-9355. Do you feel that social media keeps you away from doing some of the things that you would normally do? Well, I know it does me. I sit there and go, well, I could go do that, but I need to look at this. And most of mine is based on I need to do this. So 864-332-9355. Have any of you said, I want to check out going a little less? I know a lot of people during Christmas, a lot. I know of several families during Christmas who tried being less involved on social media and trying to spend more time being, the word is, present in the moment. How can you go outside, truthfully, and go for a walk? I mean, I've tried this with Penny, particularly when I'm short on time in the morning and I'm behind, and I go, well, I got to catch up and see what's happening in the world. I can't do it. I might as well just put the phone down, be in the moment with Penny out there. Well, basically, because I have to be watching what she's eating all the time. But I think you miss so much when you're not able to look around. So I highly agree with trying to be less social media involved. Now, information is information. And I got to admit, I do like those little dog videos, things like that. I do kind of think those are kind of cute. And for a long time, I was into How to Train Your Puppy, because everybody has an answer on how to do it. And I had to come to the conclusion, I can't deal with any of this, because if I think I see it one way, then somebody else is telling you the other way. And poor Penny was sitting there going, okay, what did you read about today you want me to try? So they are saying that digital detoxes like going phone free for a day or a weekend are useful to learn how much you rely on technology and how you feel when you aren't using it. It can be liberating. And I think that's true. Sometimes where you're in an area where you don't have good cell connection, it is interesting to see how you get involved in what's around you, or you just go, I'll just look at it later. So having a detox day, whether it's on a weekend or on a weekday, is something that can be helpful, they say. It also says not all social media use is bad. There is evidence that engaging with friends on social media can be positive and lead to a better sense of belonging and connection. But using social media to connect with people you don't know tends to be more linked to negative feelings like loneliness. It makes a lot of sense that if you're feeling lonely, you might go online to look for a connection. Aiming for a digital detox or just want to reduce your phone use, here's some tips. Don't go cold turkey. If you're averaging multiple hours on social media, it's not realistic to go to zero. Start with a goal of limiting or restricting your use by a certain amount. Use your phone to set screen time limits or cut off times. Your phone can help you reach your goals. If you need harder barriers, try an app. Create tech-free zones or times. Start by charging your phone outside of the bedroom and avoiding use an hour before going to bed. Avoid phones at meal times. Put your phone in a different room. Replace time on social media or screens with other things. That could be anything from person-to-person socializing, exercising, going to bed an hour early. You can even use your phone to call a friend instead of doom scrolling for an hour. Well, that's true. I agree with that. I like to pick up the phone and talk to people. Don't blame yourself for your behaviors. The way technology and social media is designed, it's very hard to keep track of time. So it says, it's not about your willpower. It's not about self-control. We can never win. We can never win against tech. So just a few things as you're looking at the New Year's you might like to add to your daily routine. Even if you start with saying we're not going to have any telephones on the table. I don't care how many times it dings. Don't look at it. And I think the other thing is we think that everything that we're doing is so important, don't we? We think that, oh my God, somebody texted me. Oh my God, what happened here? And most of the time, if you can put that phone aside or turn it off, you find that those things will still be there. So I thought that was a good article. It was good to see that people are really waking up to the amount of tech. Now, I will say, Chat GPT does not like you to get away from it. I use ChatGPT sometimes for looking up information for me, and I'll say, can you find out da-da-da-da, and it'll look it up, it'll come back with all this great information. And then down at the end, what does it say? What does it say? It's just trying to be helpful. I know that that's what it is. Let's see, where is it? Okay. If you want next, I can do a one-page typed version for you, a printer-friendly version. I can give you a caller question insert. I can put a side-by-side comparison. I can do this. Just say the word. You're set up for another phase here. So let me help you do this. And then you go, okay. And then you go, okay. And then by the time you're finished, you're going, why the hell? I didn't need all this information, but it keeps you engaged. And that's where you do need to learn to say, stand back and stand back from the edge. You're too close to the edge. All right. Well, anyways, that's kind of what I wanted to share with you here this morning. I hope that you are looking at some of the good things that are happening out there. I really appreciate y'all tuning in today. We have, let's see if I can find what I want to find here. There are some good things coming up, some good things going on. Let's see if I can put this out there. In 2025, I'm just going to give you some random facts and figures as I scroll through on my social media at Pathway House. In 2025, 107 clients got a home and have learned how to keep their home. This is a huge, huge thing for Pathway House. You know, Pathway House is one of those quiet organizations that just keeps moving forward every day. It's not a quick fix. It's not giving people money to go out and do things. It is every day moving forward. So it says, we're celebrating the success of our clients. Your support of our ministry helped 107 people get a home last year. Thank you for helping individuals and families from Greenwood and Abbeville overcome homelessness. And the deal about the overcoming homelessness, I mean, this is for good. This is learning the principles, not only of getting a job or being qualified for a job. It's getting them the building blocks to be able to rock through all the things that can boot you off your progress. So I think this is pretty terrific what they are doing at Pathway House. I'm always amazed at how they go about it and how they are solving the problem. They're not warehousing people. They're not giving them money. They are actually teaching them, to use an old phrase, teaching them how to fish so they can feed their family, not just giving them fish. So I hope that if you have things that you are looking at getting rid of, look at the thrift store over there. The thrift store at Pathway House surprisingly supports many of the things that they do. So that's one. Also, they're going to talk about Spring Piedmont Technology School, College, and the Workforce Innovation Continuing Educations are going to be great. They've got some cooking basic desserts. That's coming up January 24th. Is it 24th? Yes. Cooking with Love, a couples class. Okay, the love. And then they're going to be doing, that's on February 13th, which is right before Valentine's Day. And then Mediterranean and Lighter Fare will be March 14th. So their classes are just terrific. They're always on Saturday, which is difficult for me because I would love to be able to take some of those courses and just find out. And on top of that, Chef Hancock is such a great innovator and coming up with some great ideas on how to do things. So check that out. That is at Piedmont Tech, and it is I guess it's going to be at the G. Frank Russell Technology Center. So it's through Piedmont Tech, but it's at the G. Frank Russell Technology Center. They have quite kitchen facilities over there. Always impressed by what they're doing. All right, then coming up on January 10th, which is this Saturday from 11 to 12, Pause and Play, Puppies and Yoga. Yes, there you go. 60-minute gentle yoga class, adoptable puppies and dogs, $10 per class. Proceeds benefit the Humane Society, limited to 20 participants per class. So maybe they're going to be doing that on Saturdays. But yes, then they show this cute picture of a puppy and a human doing a yoga pose. I'd like to know, does that really happen? Yeah, I can just see saying to Penny, come on, let's do the down dog pose. And she'd be looking at me like, yeah, right, Ann. All right. Also, coming up over there at the Fiddle and Bow. This isn't till February 21st, but I tell you about this because this is pretty cool. Now, every week, just about every week, they have shows. I highlighted this one because this is coming up February 21st over there in Honeypath. Doors open at 6. Show begins at 7. Tickets are $30, and they only sell 115 tickets. But the hosting Linda Gale Lewis, the sister of the late great Jerry Lee Lewis, the killer himself, will be coming to the Fiddle and Bow. How about that? She is the rockabilly queen, and we expect a great show. So that looks like that would be a lot of fun. I just thought I would give you that as a heads up. They have great shows every week. But and if you've never been over there, pick out a show to go to. It is the most interesting place right there in Honeypath. About 20 minutes right here from Greenwood, not too far, and yet a world away. So check that out. You'll be glad you did. And the Fiddle and Bow has the Fiddle and Bow Music Hall has a whole list of shows that are going to be on there. So that's another cool thing that is going on. Property taxes are due January 15th. That is next Thursday. And remember, if you're going to be mailing it and you want to make sure that it's included and it has a post stamp of the 15th, take it inside to the post office and have them hand stamp it for you. All right, Greater Greenwood United Community Food Pantry. Every Friday from 9 to 11, you can go by and pick up bags of food while the bags last. Only thing you need is to provide a photo identification. So, and if you can donate, please donate food to their food pantry. They are doing quite a big food pantry, and they're open on Fridays, so that's a good thing. Also, medically speaking, their next program coming up will be Thursday, January 22nd. Arterial fibrillation, getting back in rhythm. Okay, so that is through Self Regional, and that will be getting back in rhythm on Thursday, January 22nd at Lander University. This is a free community program. Will feature local cardiologists sharing insights on AFib, one of the most common heart rhythm conditions, and what you should know about symptoms, treatment options, and heart health. This event is designed to be approachable, informative, and welcoming, with time to ask questions and connect during a reception immediately following the program. So that is Thursday, January 22nd, 5:30 p.m., free and open to the public. Now, also, Police Chief T.J. Shadone is starting up his community meetings. These community meetings have been very helpful in giving specific information to different communities. You know, we have so many communities all within the city, and each of them can be very, very different. So he tailors it to your questions, and all you have to do is come and ask questions. The first one is Ward 3, January 22nd at 6 p.m. It's going to be held at the Durst Avenue Church of God, located at 410 East Durst Avenue, right up the street from WCRS. He says, we would love for community members of Ward 3 to come out and be part of an important event. Additional information will be shared between now and then, including details on who will be present and available to speak with the community. So they have them scheduled all throughout between now and June in all the different wards. The first one coming up, as we said, was Ward 3 on January 22nd. Make plans to be there. It is definitely worthwhile to find out more about what is happening in your community and what things you may question what the city is doing, the police is doing. So, that's a few of the things that I know that are going on. Of course, there are all kinds of things going on. So I want to wish you adieu. No show this afternoon. However, next week, we've got quite a lineup already scheduled for next week. Excuse me. We have quite a lineup for next week. Karen Petit will be here. They'll be talking about the DART that will be coming up on the 24th. That is a Saturday afternoon. That should be an excellent event. I've already seen some of the things. We'll talk more about that Tuesday afternoon. Wednesday afternoon, we're going to have Carrie Hoffman on. She is the executive director of the Greenwood Promise, talking about all the exciting things and how they are expanding what they're doing with Greenwood Promise, and how you can get involved and what an effect, which is one of the things that I want to see, what an effect that this is having on our community to have a program like that. So that's just a couple of things coming up. Don't forget, go back and check out John McCravy's interview that we had yesterday, and the day before was Senator Billy Garrett. Both very interesting. I wanted to get both of them on the record before the session started so we could see how things went futuristically during the session. That was my thought process, and I think it was a good one. Also, one more thing, Lego Club. I did not realize we had a Lego Club, but we have a Lego Club right here in Greenwood. It is at the Greenwood Library. Thursday, today, January 8th, 3:30 to 5 for ages 8 to 18. 8 to 18. You know, I am amazed at how popular Legos are and how long they have been around. Builders ages 8 to 18 are invited to join us for the Lego Club, a fun, hands-on STEAM program where creativity takes the lead. And participants can work on themed Lego builds or choose from a variety of kits with options ranging from easy to advanced, perfect for beginners and experienced builders alike. Participants may drop in anytime during the program, free to attend, come ready to build. And so that's at the American Veterans Auditorium at the Greenwood County Library. That is for ages 8 to 18. I love this. I may go by and try to check that out this evening, be able to report back. It is from 3:30 to 5 right there at the library. So check that out. It's for ages 8 to 18. I may try to go by and check that out. All right. Well, I got one more event. Over there at the Ware Shoals Fire Department invites you to their free Inside Community Movie Night. That is, it says children must be accompanied by an adult. It is January 9th, which is tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. That's at the Ware Shoals Fire Department, which is at 128 South Greenwood Avenue. Popcorn and drink will be provided. Bring your chair or sleeping bag and join us for Cheaper by the Dozen. Next movie night will be February 13th. And make sure you check out all the movies, the what are they calling it? A flashback movies at the theater, at the movie theaters. They are doing this. I think they're doing it like Sundays and Wednesdays. They have very specific times. I don't have it here, but they've got a lot of great movies that really were great to see on the big screen, and you'll be able to watch them. So that's another thing. This flashback of movies, I think, is a terrific idea. I think it's thinking outside the box, and I personally love it. I hope I get to see some of those movies. And also, coming up on January 12th, they're having a tasting party at Chick-fil-A. That is, bring the fam, grab a game, and try something new. We're hosting a family game night with frosted soda and float tastings, and we'd love to have you. We'll provide the samples, you provide the good times. So there you go. That is January 12th at 5 p.m. So that's pretty cool. By the way, the new Chick-fil-A that they're building here at the very old location of Sharp Facets. You know, every time I look over there at 1428 on the bypass, I look at that and I kind of go, yes, that's where we started. November of 1984. And now I see that that's totally gone. And they're building this huge Chick-fil-A there. I think it is great. But the event at Chick-fil-A, the tasting party and games is going on the 12th from 5 to 7. They will have free samples for you to be able to try these new sodas and floats. Tell you what, folks, that is going to do it for me. As always, it is my utmost pleasure to be right here with you on WCRS. Don't know what if I'd do if I didn't start my day this way, so thank you for being right here with us on WCRS this morning. Of course, you can watch it on Facebook. It's also going to be on our website, WCRS1450am.net. And don't forget, you can always let me know what you're thinking on our new text and voice line, 864-332-9355. That's 864-332-9355. Excuse me. As well as on the legacy line, 864-229-7984. 864-229-7984. Let's see if I have anything else here. I don't think so. So I'm saying, I think I'm going to say adieu. Does Ann able to say adieu? I think she can say adieu. Yes, we're going to say adieu now. We're going to drop the screen if you are watching on Facebook Live. If not, oh well, you listen to me on the radio. And now we're going to play the closing music here. So have a great day. Penny, what do you got to say? Feed me, feed me. And that's what we shall do. Bye-bye, everybody.